Unfortunately, each year more and more animals are becoming rare. But there are still places where it is quite common to encounter one or another rare animal. 1. Indonesia Elephant Trekking Gunung Leuser National Park offers wildlife lovers a chance to see many rare animals, including even such unique representatives of tropical fauna as orangutans. You can take a fascinating walk through the pristine jungle on foot, by boat, or on horseback on real elephants. In the latter case, even if the wild orangutans do not come out to meet tourists, a lot of unforgettable experience is guaranteed. 2. The Moose of Algonquin Park. The Algonquin Park is a protected area in the Canadian province of Ontario. This huge park is home to impenetrable forests, powerful cliffs, treacherous swamps, with dangerous bogs and thousands of beautiful lakes. Visitors travel by canoe in summer and by dog sled in winter. There are many wild animals in the local forests, and in the park you can easily come across a magnificent American moose, which is famous for its giant size. 3. Florida's alligators. The swampy plains of South Florida are one of the largest and most famous wetlands in the world. These impassable bogs are home to giant alligators, which can be almost 5 meters long. 4. Giant bears of British Columbia. British Columbia is a Canadian province. Here in the dense forests live huge grizzly bears. The animals are not at all afraid of curious tourists and continue to do their bear business even when in the sights of the cameras. 5. Zebra migrations. In Botswana, for many thousands of years zebras have migrated to the banks of the Boteti River every year with the onset of the dry season. But the drought finally defeated the river in 1995. To prevent the death of the huge number of zebras and other animals that still rush every year along the traditional route, the river is now filled with water using special pumps. 6. Tembe Elephant Park. Tembe Elephant National Park is located in South Africa. Numerous herds of elephants have lived here for centuries. The civil war in Mozambique took a heavy toll on the elephant population, but in recent decades they have begun to recover. 7. Rare African deer. We are all used to seeing zebras, giraffes, and all kinds of antelope in Africa. But deer also live here. To admire these amazing and rare animals, you need to go to Kasanka Park. The easiest way to see the deer is early in the morning, when they gather near the river for watering. 8. South African chimpanzees. In special parks in South Africa, tourists have a unique opportunity to observe the life of our closest relatives in natural conditions, and if you are lucky, to communicate with them. 9. Hyena dogs. On the banks of the Limpopo River, hyena dogs are incredibly friendly and sociable animals. But despite their mutual companionship, it's getting harder and harder for them to survive in today's world. Endangered Wildlife Trust, a non-profit organization, is working to preserve these amazing animals. They also organize excursions for tourists to observe the complex social life of hyena dogs. 10. Foxes. In the Swedish Wolladalen Nature Reserve, here tourists are offered a rich program with overnight stays outdoors, 10-kilometer day hikes, and encounters with numerous animals in their natural habitat. In addition to magnificent red foxes, elk, reindeer, otters, and mountain hares can be found here. Tourists are also taught a course of survival in the extreme conditions of the northern forest. 11. Wildlife of South Africa. The fauna of South Africa is extremely rich and diverse. You can observe it in all its glory, visiting a small farm, KwaMadwala. Crocodiles and hippos swim in the small lake instead of ducks, and packs of hyenas and lion prides roam its shores to watch for antelope as they come to drink. 12. Visiting baboons. Funny and amusing baboons are actually very strong and aggressive animals. And their high intelligence and ability to act collectively make their herds especially dangerous. Still, there are some completely peaceful baboons in South Africa who are happy to interact with tourists in exchange for a small treat. 13. Reindeer migrations. In Norway, a snowmobile trip following the migrating reindeer of the Sami will allow you to feel all the charm of the north. 14. Marmot colonies in South Africa. The meerkats are very colorful, but also very sharp-tongued animals. Seeing them in the wild is quite difficult, as the vigilant sentries guarding the colony warn their congeners of approaching strangers in time, and the entire company dives underground for a long time. But Grant McElrath has managed to gain the trust of the cautious meerkats, and tourists who choose him as their guide have a chance to watch the wildlife of the meerkat colony to their heart's content. 15. The cheetahs of Namibia. The task of the huge Okanjama farm is to save cheetahs. Tourists are always welcome here, too. Guests are accommodated in picturesque thatched huts, and experienced guides can lead all comers almost up close to the wild cheetahs. It is easy to do, because the movement of all the animals is tracked by special radio receivers. 16. Mountain gorillas of Rwanda. Virunga National Park in Rwanda is one of the few places on our planet where you can still see magnificent mountain gorillas. Most of their remaining population lives here. Tourists are offered 1- and 6-day excursions, during which they can get to know these amazing creatures. 17. Sled dogs of Spitsbergen. Norway. Dog sledding in Arctic conditions is one of the fastest and absolutely environmentally friendly modes of transport. On Spitsbergen, people try not to use snowmobiles to preserve the local unique nature. But dog sledding is not forbidden at all, and you can use it to admire the local beauty and not be afraid of getting lost. 18. Equatorial forests of Gabon. Colorful diversity of equatorial African jungle knows no boundaries and defies description. The jungle here comes right up to the ocean, and sitting on the beach you can see fountains of humpback whales and herds of elephants and buffaloes coming to the water to refresh themselves. 19. Brisbane's koalas. Brisbane is one of the best places to experience Australia's colourful wildlife without losing the comforts of home. On the one hand, it's a big, modern city, and on the other hand, there are koalas and other animals living right in the parks. Tourists are also attracted to scuba diving to natural and artificial reefs. 20. The jungle of Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, tourists are offered to enjoy the view of the impenetrable jungle without getting up from the luxurious couches. The Haritans Kandalama Hotel is built on a high cliff and offers a wonderful view for miles around. Tropical thickets are not the most suitable habitat for European city dwellers. But the hotel's verandas offer familiar comfort, hygienic protection, and a full view of all the forest's wonders.